Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Blackpool Newton Hall and the European Masters semi-finals, which are in two groups. And let's bring on your players. Representing Hartley, Paul, let's welcome Paul Hartley.
Ain't seen nothing yet. But baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. It's something that you're never gonna forget. But baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. Playing it around.
And up against Paul, ladies and gentlemen, has been about before from Torquay United. It is Danny Denison. Parkinson.
Well, thanks very much, Richard, and morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of the semi-finals up here, Jason. Going to be an interesting game, this one.
Certainly is, Janice. I think we're for a treat all day long.
Yeah, to be fair, good games all day. Just to fill you in, this is the first semi-final in Tour Card 1. There's two Tour Cards up for grab this weekend. Paul Hartley's playing Danny Denison, and then the other semi-final in this Tour Card is Simon Skelton versus local lad Chris Gale. And then this afternoon, real treat for you. We've got my fellow commentator Jason Parkinson taking on Perry Martin. That game will be at 2:30. And then at 4:30 we've got Trevor Taylor versus Billy the Wizard Jackson. Some great bowls this Saturday. If you can stick with us, we're live with you on YouTube. And also, for the first time ever at this event, on Facebook Live. What a cracking start from Paul Hartley there. Well, Paul played on the rink yesterday, and even himself would say he struggled. Then he went out onto one of the outside rinks for his quarter-final game and came through that quite easily. I did say to him at breakfast this morning which Paul Hartley's turning up this morning, and it's a bit of a laugh. He's good lad, is Paul. Plays a lot of bowls. Only just recently joined the PBA, whereas Danny Denison has played in the PBA for many years, qualified for a lot of tournaments.
I think a lot of these games today, Janice, are going to be who gets off to a good start, I think.
Yeah, we're still 9 end sets today, Jason, aren't we? With 2 sets of 9 ends, and if necessary, 3 end tie break. But you will notice if you've been watching the 2 previous days, we now are on red and green shirts, and also the players are playing under shot clock rules. See the countdown there behind Paul Hartley. He's got 30 seconds to deliver this bowl after Danny's last bowl comes to rest. But that means that they can go up to look at the head at any point in time, as long as they're within the time limits. They get 5 timeouts throughout the course of the first 2 sets. That means that they get an extra 60 seconds to deliver the bowl. It's one of those things, Jason. It's quite interesting when players take timeouts and if they think about the timeouts they've got available to them.
Yeah, that's correct, Janice. I think this will be interesting because normally you start playing with the shot clock from the very start. So you're used to it. You're more aware that it's there. Here we've had 3 games without the shot clock. So now you've got to just be mindful that it's ticking away behind you.
Yes, and of course there's those players that have played under shot clock rules and those players that haven't. And this is the first time Paul Hartley has played under shot clock rules. Danny Denison, of course, has played under those rules before. So Paul's not a slow player anyway, though, and he's quite quick up and down the rink. So I think... don't think that'll affect him. It might do if it starts to get tight. Danny playing a runner at this.
Not far away. Unlucky.
Got one away.
Reduces the count.
For those of you that like to know what bowls the players are playing with, Paul Hartley's out there with Henselite Tigers. Danny's changed his bowls this morning. For eagle-eyed viewers, they might notice that he's actually playing with Connor Sinato's Drake's Pride Professionals. He felt that Connor played so well against him, even though Danny beat Connor in round 1. He asked Connor this morning if he could play with Connor's bowls. So the Ginger Ninjas bowls are out there on the rink without him.
1.5 metres.
Looks down a good track here, Paul.
Such a consistent player, Paul is. Very, very consistent.
Yes, he's certainly not a player you particularly want to catch in an early round of a national. He's won the national champion of champions, singles. Very consistent. Skips quite a bit as well. Got through to the triples and pairs at Melton Mowbray, and also the family pairs with his dad, and his dad's out there supporting him today. His pairs partner's a friend of both of ours. I'm sure he's listening in there somewhere
He is,
at
I'm
home.
sure.
Carl Higgins, Director of Competitions for the EIBA. Good friend. Very good supporter of the game of bowls. Sorry, we're just having a bit of a technical difficulty with our markers pack at the moment. I'm going to just send out a word that for somebody to have a check on that for us.
Just like to say good morning to our overseas viewers. Nice to see you tuning in. Already got New Zealand and Turkey on.
1 green.
Warm welcome to you all. So just struggling a little bit, Danny. Take a while just to get used to these new bowls.
Yeah, it's great to have so many viewers all over the world now able to watch the bowls on the facility that the World Bowls Tour gives you now. And one of the highlights of today as well, not only have we got 4 great games of bowls, but for everybody out there that's interested, at 6:30 this evening, it will be the live draw for the Scottish International Open. Do join us for that, because it'll be an interesting one. See who all the top stars like your Paul Fosters and your defending champion up there, Greg Harlow. See who they'll have to face in their first round at Scotland. That's in Perth in November. So that draw is live here with you on the YouTube streaming and also on Facebook Live at 6:30 this evening.
So spare shot here for Danny. Looks like he's pulling up again. So he's on the scorecard.
1 shot. Danny Denison.
I wonder if Connor's sat in the corner there with the remote control for these bowls, because he failed with that last one.
He's certainly sat there, I can see him. There we go.
With Perry Martin.
Yep.
Your opponent for this afternoon, Jason.
Sure is. It's going to be an enjoyable game. Going to be a tough game as well. He's playing very well.
Yes, I have to say, he's probably been, from what I've seen so far, out on this rink in particular, one of the most consistent players here this week. Travelled all the way up from Kent. Good player, Perry. Got every shot in his armoury. Good ball here from Danny, good opener.
Yeah, not bad. Changed the length slightly, brought the mat up. Looks like 3/4.
Not as far to go up to the head if you want to have a look on your shot clock.
That's right.
Method in his madness.
Yeah, but at a slight disadvantage, obviously, won't he? You know, he's not got the speed that Paul will have.
Yes, he was involved in a car accident a couple of years ago. He's quite lucky to actually still be here and able to bowl, but hence why you're seeing with a stick there. Just needs that help with his stability.
Pretty decent pace. Just slightly high. Paul will be looking to make a correction now. Plenty to rest on. Looking to lose about a yard.
Looks fairly decent for pace.
It is with his. It'll come all the way now. Well played.
1 red.
Tighter line here from Danny. Looking to rest off the shot bowl of Paul Hartley.
He's having a look. It's very close. Well played. It's a very good bowl.
Sits down, it might just sit out.
1 red.
Has done.
Look at Dan McManus just confirming that. With a smile on Paul Hartley's face. You're not supposed to be enjoying it, Paul. He says he's played Danny before. Danny is one for chatting quite a bit on a rink.
Just needs to rest this. Sits back for 2.
Toucher as well. Got best back bowl as well.
2 red.
I don't think Danny will be short at this.
No, I don't. I think he'll be playing up through this. Yeah, forehand runner.
It's all on the pace of this.
Starting to go. How fortunate is he?
Oh, just got the 1 red bowl away.
1 red.
So a chance here for Paul just to draw for 2. Nice simple delivery from Paul.
Yes, one of the textbook deliveries.
Just push past it. So,
1
takes another
shot.
single.
Paul Hartley.
Paul takes the lead. 3 shots to 1.
Once we've got to this stage in the tour card, trying to give the players the experience of what they'll have to face when they get to the ranking events, because of course the winner of the 2 tour cards that are up for grabs this weekend get one of the biggest prizes in bowls, the chance to play for all
Jet
of
length,
the
30.5
ranking events in the WBT calendar. There's 3 of them for next season. The Scottish International Open, as I mentioned, the draw for that being done tonight at 6:30. The World Championships and the International Open. So, big thing for the players, Jason. A nice prize to walk away with.
It certainly is, Janice. It is.
The only problem you've got is if you walk away with one of those, you'll probably be in commentary as well at all 3 events.
Yeah,
You won't be able to get away with that.
I was waiting for that, yeah. Depends how much cake you buy me.
Wow.
Big swing now. It's a nice swing on this forehand in this direction. Just pulling up. The pace just change a lot here at this venue.
Yes, when we've got the set on rink 2 here at Blackpool Newton Hall. Got quite a low ceiling, as you can see from that picture there. And temperature changes quite drastically and quite quickly as well.
Certainly does. Good ball from Paul. So correction needed by Danny. Played a good line. Still just the pace.
Yeah, just underplayed it.
So a chance for Paul now. Turn the screw a little bit.
Yes, it ends like this when you know that your opponent's short, because Danny's got to reach with his next. If Paul can just slip past this blue bowl, it's going to go on the inside of it. Done enough, I think, to get second.
Yeah, it should count.
It's times like this when you really need to be adding some points onto that scoreboard. Danny's gone for a big wide drawing line here. These bowls will make it all the way back if they're a length. Looking close here. Great bowl.
Oh, well played. Well played indeed. Needed that.
1 green. You hold third shot.
I wonder if it's Dan McManus's beard that causes the static.
So Paul
Just a
looking to
profound
remove it.
thought that. Close, very close.
Needs
Piece
a
of
bit
the jack.
fortune.
Do come up with these bizarre thoughts at this time of morning on a
Yes.
Saturday. So,
Rubbing against his beard.
Danny trying to dash back up to the mat. Doesn't want to waste any of his timeouts just at this point. About 15 seconds. Most of the top players, certainly the top 16, tend to time their deliveries. I remember you and I, Jason, when we'd qualified for an event, we took a bit of time up at Penrith. We went up to Penrith, didn't we, and both timed our deliveries.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember that. Just to give you that idea what sort of time you need to be back to the mat for.
So Matt right up the green again.
Another one of the competitors just walking in at the back there. Trevor Taylor from Cumbria. He faces Billy Jackson.
Yeah, that'll be a great game. Both attacking players. Not
Yeah.
you know, they're not shy of going at it early. Where's the jack gone? Off.
Great shot from our ditch cam there. Yeah, Trevor scraped through yesterday against Wayne Wilgress. It's one of the games on the outside rinks here. Of course, every game now is here on the TV rink.
Certainly is.
It's when the nerves can start to set in as well, Jason. For those that have not been under the TV set and rules before.
Yeah, it can be quite alien to begin with. It's not something you play anywhere else other than at the World Bowls Tour, so it does take 1 or 2, games to get used to it, I would say. Can put you under a little bit of pressure. Well, great start from Danny.
Interestingly enough, I was just looking, Jason, from the 8 players that are in the semi-finals, there's only 2 that haven't been at World Bowls Tour events, and that's Paul Hartley, the man on the mat now, and your opponent Perry Martin. All 6 others have actually qualified. It just shows the quality of the field here at
Sure does.
Blackpool. And the keenness of players once they've been to one of the World Bowls Tour events to try and qualify and get back again.
Yeah, I think when you experience something like this, you certainly want to have another bash at it, that's for certain.
I think all 3 of the venues here, Perth and Potters, have got differences to them, but certainly fantastic to play at any of them.
So, a great start here from Danny. Perhaps that's his new tactic. Send the jack off. So, Paul going early. Looks under.
Yeah, should start to fade now. Yep.
It's a very difficult hand to play that kind of pace on, Janice. As you know, it goes quick, but if you're correct, sometimes you can just get in that little slight straightener there, You can miss on the wide side as well.
Yes, and Paul Hartley hasn't really got a bigger drive than that. Some players, you know, like yourself, and certainly the likes of Chris Gale and Perry Martin have got big drives. You can tend to hold better really if with a bigger drive.
Yep. Looks better here. Just needs to hold a little bit more. 1-2. Well played.
Great result.
Went quicker at it. Fantastic result.
I think that's, as we were saying, the quicker you go, the better chance you have of it holding. I hate to tell you, but your opponent had noticed that yesterday. He was telling me last night. I've realised that if I'm going to run at something, I need to go quicker.
Go quicker. Yep. So Paul Hartley takes another shot there. Extends his lead by another point. Leads 4-2 after 5 ends.
I'm going to come up with one of my other useless, interesting facts here, is that they're winning in opposite directions. This is the direction that Denison's been picking up his
Jet length 31.5 metres.
counts, and Paul Hartley's been winning towards the commentary box. Our commentary position, our little hutch, is, as you're looking at the screen there, is to the top right hand side behind the rinks. So this is away from our commentary position, and this is the way that Danny Denison's been counting. Just to let the viewers know at home, we now haven't got the microphone feedback off the marker on the rink. Still a little bit of a technical difficulty just with his headset, so you won't be hearing what he has to tell you. I'll probably still pick up his dulcet tones. His Scottish accent will probably echo through to us.
This is where you need the old lollipops back.
It is indeed, isn't it? We'll have to provide him with lollipops.
Some little lollipops. Just shows you how strong these bowls are of Paul's. If he's here, it'll come all the way, just short.
Kindly hosted here by Blackpool Newton Hall. It's free entry if you do fancy popping down to watch any of your favourites. Don't forget at 11:30 today we've got Simon Skelton versus Chris Gale. 2:30 Jason Parkinson versus Perry Martin. And at 4:30 Trevor Taylor versus Billy Jackson. And at 6:30 tonight, live, we have the draw for the Scottish International Open. I was thinking I was getting an early night until I was told that we were doing that at 6:30, Jason.
No rest for the wicked, Janice.
No, very true.
So a little bit of a scrappy in this direction.
Yeah, like I say, Paul hasn't scored in this direction so far in this game, just struggling for his pace.
Well, finding a decent line. Like I say, it's a big swinging hand, this.
This is a fair line.
Comes late. It's just short.
Just wonder if Paul might just swap his hand here. Change of hand, change of pace, they say sometimes.
Yeah, I think he needs to now. I think it's probably just slightly in his eye. Because as you know, if you're just underneath on the final approach there, it will finish 2 feet tight. This is all about his pace, Janice.
Yeah, looks down a very good line. Start to go now.
I think it's just probably slid out the back door, I think.
1 green.
Hard to tell from the angle.
Forces Danny to play that hand as well.
Oh, he's building up a bit of speed there.
It's not easy. He has plenty of time. Still got all of his timeouts to use.
He won't want to be using one here. 7.
Sticking with the forehand. Ball has got to be delivered within the time. Otherwise, we all get deafened, and
It's very loud, yes.
it's especially in here because of it being so enclosed.
He's played a good one here. He just misses his own. Might be just enough.
Wiggled in or wiggled out.
Just having a look for the second.
1 shot. Danny Denison.
So my lip reading skills are great. So I think that's like 1 shot to Danny Denison. And it's keeping your pattern alive, Janice.
It is. I'm liking this pretty pattern on this scorecard at the moment.
Let's see how long it lasts.
So in theory,
Paul Hartley scores this end.
correct. It's quite interesting that when you get as far as a tie break, I've noticed
Jack length 29 metres.
when I've marked numerous cards in this commentary positions over the different venues, is it often continues into tie-break ends, and therefore it's interesting if a player actually thinks to themselves, you know, which way have I won playing to my own jack?
That's right. That's all about the tactics then, Janice. So he's finding a bit of form now, Danny. It's interesting, I spoke to Gary Smith yesterday after he played against Chris, and obviously that went to a tie break, and that was a game of 2 halves. You know, Chris Gale was dominating the longer length jack, and Gary was dominating the shorter length with a stronger bowl. And he was talking about his tactics. You know, he says he was umming and ahhing with him having the choice of the jack. He wanted to either keep it and obviously play his short length, but he was kind of aware that Chris Gale will probably go early, and he's very, very good at going early, you know, very accurate, and ditch the jack. So he elected to give the jack away, and unfortunately, you know, it didn't work on that occasion. So that just shows you how sometimes the tactics can just play around with your head.
Yeah, you've got to think about these things, and sometimes you can think too much about it. But it's all, if you have really been dominating on a length. The thing is, like you say, if it's a short length you've been dominating on, and you're playing against somebody that's got a very aggressive bowl early, I think. Just slightly through there again, Paul. Not a bad position, but Danny's got the backhand draw to those bowls now.
Want to be a bit wider. It's undercut this one. So a chance for Paul now.
Just a slight adjustment on your pace, Paul. Looks down a good line again. Is this reaching?
Nope.
We'll be disappointed with that bolt. Nothing for short. He's going to spoil my
Pattern.
here.
Oh, what shot was going on there?
That wasn't our cameras, folks. Looks close here.
Yeah, it's coming back well. So,
He's one that likes to play to the crowd, Danny. If he's got a few friends in to chat to. Dan just having a look at that. Danny's bowl is a length bowl.
trouble is, I think the draw's blocked. I think he needs to be just arriving at this.
Almost using that side bowl, Jason, to get back to the jack.
Can do, can chop and light. Well, Paul, what's your pace like? Starting to go now, something wrong with it?
Yeah, just not reached.
Just more or less just under a length, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed with that. A chance there, Janice.
Needed a couple of feet on that, really, to give himself some sort of chance.
So,
The pattern's spoiled, Jason.
that's it.
5-4 now to Danny Denison after 7 ends. You know, a really good game of bowls from both players, nip and tuck. I think that's what you expect when you get into semi-finals. I often find that semi-finals are even better games than the
Jack leg,
finals.
29 metres.
Yes, they normally are. I've seen so many finals that are one-sided.
Yeah, it tends to happen. Of course, the finals are tomorrow. Final from Tour Card 1 is at 10:30 and the final from Tour Card 2 is at 1:30. Again, free entry if you want to come down and watch one of the finals.
So Paul needs to take advantage now. Looking for a good opening bowl here.
It's the first time he's slipped behind on the scoreboard. He's been in front all the way from the first end so far.
Your
Short with
gap
that.
is just under the 3 feet.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether it's a little bit heavier today. There's been a lot of short bowls, Janice. Slightly cooler as well today outside.
It is indeed. Still sunny. Got home last night and one of the neighbours, it was about 8:30, 9 o'clock when I got home, one of the neighbours said, "What a lovely day it's been." And I thought, yes,
We've not seen it.
we've not seen it. But we've seen some very good bowls over the last couple of days. When you think that the top 16 aren't here, the quality of play that's just behind that top 16 are the guys that are out there now, and good players.
Well played, Paul. As it stays up.
1 green. Last ball short, but just under the
It's
edge.
times like this that we need those lollipops.
Certainly is. So Danny's on the forehand.
I think he can just, if he just sits Paul's bowl down, if he reaches it and just sits it out.
Just pulling up. So Paul's just waiting for Danny just to get to the head.
Yes, unfortunately that eats into a bit of his shot clock. It's the only thing you've just got to be wary of. You've got to think about not taking up any of your opponent's shot clock time, but then you can use the opponent's time to walk back down the rink. Very close here, Paul Hartley. Great bowl toucher.
Hard to see where the jack is, I'm not quite sure.
1 green.
Shot clock counting down now for Danny. He's on 8 seconds. He's got it away. I think because of the way that Danny's played that bowl, Jason, I would think that he must be holding shot.
Yes, I think so, Janice. It's finished very well there.
If he hadn't been holding shot, I think he'd have been down the forehand and just trying to reach up to it. Paul's got a similar bowl. Not 100% sure on the angles there, but if he reaches his own bowl, it could just pop Danny's through. Doesn't want a lot of weight on it.
Timeout call. Paul has 4 timeouts remaining.
So Paul just needs to hold up. There's plenty to use. How thin can he catch the front? Not thin enough. So one shot to Danny Denison.
One shot.
So Danny takes another lead now. 6 shots to 4. Final end.
Well, to be fair, he's played the better bowls the last few ends.
It's ever since he sent the jack off.
It is really.
Ever since he sent the jack off, Paul's forced him to play a different length, and he's played very, very well.
Yeah, normally that tends to work against you, that. But in this occasion, it's worked in his favour. He's gone longer, and he's finding the line very well.
Jack length 29.5 metres.
Decent opener again from Danny. Good position. Of course, his opponent Paul Hartley from the Hartlepool Bowls Club has got to score a 2 at this end to tie it, 3 to win it. If not, he'd have to win the second set to take us into a first tie break here in the semi-finals of the European Masters Tour Cards. Kindly sponsored by Co-op Funeralcare. Put a lot of money into bowls, do the Co-op. Big supporters of the game.
Yeah, they're fantastic, Janice. They really are.
Sponsors are so hard to come by. We're very grateful to those ones we have. Anybody out there interested in sponsoring bowls, please get in touch with Richard Madison at the World Bowls Tour.
So still a chance here for Paul. Needs to be reaching now. Can pull the jack through, or he can draw. Leave himself another draw with his last. Depends how his confidence is. There's plenty of room.
Just doesn't want to be short. He's got 2 or 3 chances down this forehand.
Pulled it, I think, has he? Unless he's playing a bit of pace.
Needs to reach on this line.
Yeah, it goes now. Could do with running a bit further. Well, got 2 on the spot, Janice.
Yep.
You know, 2 on the spot. Even if he gets the jack to the far corner, he can be counting 2. I think we know where Danny will be placing this.
Yeah, Danny needs to try and split these bowls up, be as close to that respot as he can.
Yep. Probably maybe a foot past the respot.
I think that would be the ideal because jack back would be good for Paul Hartley at the moment as well. Respot to the right of your screen there.
No, he's let him off. How far is it going to come?
Well, that helps to the respot.
It does. I think he needs to be playing just a couple of yards on. Janice needs to drag the jack with him.
Jack through, jack towards the ditch area.
I think it, to be fair, probably settle for the draw here. You know, if he gets a 3, it's a bonus. I think he needs to be looking at just definitely securing a 2.
Yeah. Played it with a bit more weight.
There is a chance here for both options.
Well,
Now then.
if it moves now, he's got a chance.
Now then. Needs to bend. Very unlucky.
Great effort. Danny Denison takes the first set here in the first of the semi-finals. So, Paul Hartley has lost the last 4 ends on the trot in the first set and has seen the set slip away from him to Danny Denison. Has to win this second set to take us into a tie break.
Jack length 30.5 metres.
It's good to hear the jack length today.
Certainly
I was
is.
missing it the last couple of days.
30.5 metres. Full length available here is 31.5 metres.
Yeah, it's one of the longest carpets in the country. Certainly longer than the portable rink.
He's just struggling, Paul, for his length.
Certainly struggling in this direction, getting the line spot on.
Just wondering whether it's one of those where you just need to maybe just change your hand for a little bit, just see if you can find a length.
Yeah, well, he played the backhand, playing in this direction a couple of ends ago and found it okay. He just seems to be sticking to this forehand. Oh, he might have heard us. I think he's underplayed this as well. He did swap to his backhand. Like I said, I think he heard us.
Danny's first bowl will be just in his eye line as well, so in a way it's probably good because it did force him to go onto the other hand. Danny's followed him, just follow him through.
One red.
I think that is the problem when you get a bowl stuck out on the drawing line on that forehand. You're so frightened that you're going to run into it, and if you just overplay it, there is the draw still on there. You could quite easily get round those. Certainly to the blue bowl of Danny's, you could get back to that. Paul looks better here. Definitely must have heard us about changing his hand.
Yep, played 2 good bowls.
2 red.
So needs to drop a yarn on this one. Well,
Close. Very close here. Just get a little rub off the
One
red.
green.
Yeah.
that's the shot.
Just shows that that's quite a nice hand. A lot of the players persisting on the forehand. I mean, to be fair, it is the nicer hand because they swing back lovely. But all forehands playable on this rink. Certainly on the draw. Close here.
What about the angle? It pushed through. No,
I think he's been unlucky.
he has. Sets himself up though, Janice.
1 green.
If he had another bowl.
Glad you admitted that one. I've done it many times myself. don't
Oh.
I? Especially if there's been one in the ditch. I remember playing Chloe Watson. She's going to hate me for saying this live, but I remember playing Chloe Watson in the WIBC tournament at Jersey, and we were both up at the head looking who was shot. And she declared one to me, picked up the jack and passed it to me, and I still had a bowl left on the bank at the back. And the umpires didn't know what to do with themselves.
Danny Denison.
Poor Chloe.
So Danny takes first blood in the second set here. Played 2 decent bowls there, Paul, on the other hand.
Not just quite going as far. It's running out as I'm
The
saying
jack,
that.
the jack
Yeah,
runs a
it's
long way on
really
here.
skirted,
It does,
isn't
it skirts across the top. So almost 30.5 metres. See where this is.
It's,
Just slightly
the
up.
mat's about a metre up, I would think,
So
as
yeah,
well.
30.5 metres.
I think we're a whole 2 metres here further than the portable rink.
Yes, we are.
I know some of the players that are in the top 16, they say when they've been at the World Championships on the portable rink and then they come to here, got to think about that extra distance. It's that extra distance to go with the shot clock as well. Got to take those extra couple of strides. Well, it's only 1 stride for Paul Foster,
It
but
certainly is.
for the rest of us it's an extra couple of strides.
It's 4 for me.
Better bowl again from Paul. Doesn't want Danny to start running away with this second set. It's a very, very lovely delivery to watch. Textbook for any new bowlers starting out there. It's one of those, as many coaching videos on delivery. Well, you could almost just watch this and take it as a coaching video on delivery. Paul Hartley's certainly got one of the smoothest deliveries.
It's all about trying to keep it as simple as you can and as consistent as you can.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about players bumping bowls out, but as long as you're consistently bumping your bowl out. Remember one of the best players ever, Ian Bond, always used to bump his bowls out, but it was consistent bump and it worked for him. Julie Forrest, one of the top lady players, bumps every bowl out, but it's very consistent. She's won so many titles over the years, and yet if a coach looked at the delivery, they'd say that's a no-no. I mean, to be fair, Danny's delivery has had to obviously change now. He's delivering with a stick, but it's possibly even made his delivery a little bit more static now. He's got a stick to rest upon.
Not quite sure how many Danny's laying here. I'm not sure if the left-hand side bowl is counting. It's a nice draw. Got a bowl to sit on. Out on the wider line.
Got to be the perfect weight. It will come all the way back in.
Here
It's
it comes.
working now.
Could do with just grabbing. Well played. One shot to Paul Hartley. Evens it up. One apiece.
What will the choice of length of Jack be here?
I think he just needs to change something, Janice.
Yeah, he's put the mat back on the tee. I actually wondered whether he might have gone shorter. It's like you say, it's since Paul Hartley took Danny on the longer length Jack that Danny's just seemed to have come into his own in this game. No, it's still going long. Banking on his own consistency coming back.
Jack length 31 metres.
Interestingly enough, first bowl coming out on the backhand.
Yeah, like I said before, I think he just needs just to try something different, Janice.
Yeah, it worked for him at the last end coming in this direction. Although he didn't get shot, he actually played a good end. Just overplayed this. Going back to the tee.
Good starter. It's a good hand, the backhand. It's just not as forgiving. On the forehand, you can push it just a couple of balls wider, and it'll still come back for you on a dead length.
Well, Paul's got a chance here. And Danny overplayed that. Just slight adjustment. Sticking with this backhand. I think sometimes players just tend to get in a rut and stick to a certain hand, and it doesn't pay off. And now I've done it myself. Well, Paul Hartley, big chance here.
Huge chance here. Looking just to close it up now, Janice.
Yeah, Danny's just gone off the boil. with 2 bowls. Big opportunity. Well, looks on a wider line here. Don't think this will make it back to the centre.
No, he's pushed through this.
Still holding 3.
He is. The amount of teams you see like a scrappy 3 or a scrappy 4 sometimes. I'm sure Danny will adjust with this.
He
Well.
looks on a wide line as well.
Down it comes now.
Must be the perfect length now.
Don't think he's here.
No,
Well,
this will probably have to
Well.
force Paul to go back to the forehand.
yeah, there's no danger here. He certainly won't want to be arriving onto the blue bowl at this stage.
She's short of Jack
Go
high.
inside or outside his own. He's sticking with the backhand. Well, there you go. What do we know?
Exactly, that's why we're here.
Exactly. We never play a bad ball in.
No. Just surprised there, Janice, because you know
Yeah.
he's lying a big count, 2 or probably 3.
Doesn't want to get on the outside
Certainly
edge of
doesn't wanna-
Danny's bowl.
he's
He's
underneath.
under it, so
Yeah.
he's safe. I'm sure there's a few sighs from people in Hartlepool there.
Yep. Well,
3, do we think at the moment?
I might go for 4.
Mm.
So big bowl for Danny. It's not a lot near.
Better line.
Certainly is, all on his pace now. Slightly under the line. How far are you going to run?
Giving up.
Oh, there's a straightener. Probably 3rd as it stands, maybe.
2 shots. Paul Hartley.
We'll find out in a minute, no doubt. We think it was 2.
Yeah, it looked like 2. It's sometimes very hard to tell from here, but it looked like 2.
Yeah, we haven't got the overhead booms here for this event, so don't get the overhead angle. So definitely 2 confirmed.
So Paul will be pleased with that.
Jack length 31.5 metres.
There we go, full length jack, tee to tee, 31.5 metres. And as these are one of the swingiest bowls you can play with, the Tiger just shows you can make it all the way back, tee to tee on all hands on this rink. It's a good rink here. Rink 2 at Blackpool Newton Hall. The boarding on either side are on our rinks 1 and 3. It's not the portable rink, it's a bona fide rink at the Bowls Club here. Changes a little bit when the boards go down. Of course, world number 12, Mark Dawes, this is his home club. Plays a lot of bowls on this rink as well, but even he says when the boards go down it does change it slightly.
I noticed him in yesterday having a little look. Janice at his competition.
Yeah, I was wondering whether he might come in today. I might collar him to come in and
Yeah.
co-commentate if he's about. He's been known to turn his hand to the commentary box.
I'll have to ask him about his teaching masterclass in Eindhoven.
Oh, all right, okay, I'll
An
remember that one.
interesting story.
You'll certainly be wanting to tune in at 6:30 to know his opponent at the Scottish.
Oh, what's going on here?
Well,
So,
now that's when you get really frustrated with yourself, when you've just picked up a 2 and then your 2 opening bowls. Poor.
it's very difficult. You've got to steady yourself.
Good bowl there from Danny. Good reply.
Yeah, Mark went on a business trip to Eindhoven, and his boss obviously knew how good he was, number 12 in the world at bowling. Gets there to teach all their, overseas colleagues at bowls, and it turned out it was a 10-pin bowling green.
Really? Oh, he hasn't told me that.
Has he not?
No, he hasn't.
He's probably going to kill me now.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. I'd have been reliably informed he was the worst at it.
Well, Trevor Taylor would probably tell you the story at Carlisle. They often get phone calls about the bowls and how do we get to the bowling, and it's often the 10-pin bowling alley they're wanting to go to.
Well,
Ooh,
still
now.
one to green. Blue, green. Still one to green. But chance here for Paul now. Needs to be arriving on this bowl.
At least we're not having to have too many paracetamols today for the colour of bowls, and at least the red bowls are in red today.
Let's pull this.
It's under the line here.
Yep. Now, let's have a look. Nope.
Just didn't have enough pace for it to run off there.
Very difficult to Danny to make a second here. Needs to be careful. Don't think he'll be overly bothered. Just looking at arriving in the split if he can for another.
No, one's good really. Won the first set.
Yeah, he's looking between his arms there.
Well, Paul was saying yesterday he was a bit worried about standing in front of the cameras, having never played on the TV. He's played Premier Threes before, but that's not just quite the same. By quite a way than the World Bowls Tour events. Said to the marker, just drag me out of the way if I'm in the way.
Jack length 28.5 metres.
Both playing a longer length, Jack here.
Yep, 28.5 metres. So just a 3 metre difference here. Obviously, for those of you at home that have just recently started watching bowls, the minimum length you must play is 23 metres. So as long as it's anywhere between 23 metres and 31.5 metres, then you're fine.
Yeah, we often get those sort of technical questions. I've got a lot of people tuning in, certainly on the YouTube streaming. I've never watched bowls before.
Well played, Paul Hartley.
Between us we can normally answer questions, and if they're tough questions we'll find the person that can answer them for you. Normally we're very fortunate to have the umpires that are part of the World Bowls Tour team that aren't here at events. Normally there's one or two of them listening in on the streaming, and if you put a technical question on, we might get one of them to answer it. The three umpires that are not here are Mike Davis, Francis Fletcher and Dan Blewett, and I know Dan was listening in yesterday. Fantastic team here at the World Bowls Tour.
Certainly are.
Led by Chief Honcho Alan Thornhill, who's currently the umpire out on the rink at the moment. And the two newbies are out there with him. Dan McManus marking the game. And Tony Hatch is on shot clock.
It's going to go now. It's gone early,
Can he
just
get an edge
underneath.
on the red short ball? I thought he
Got
might
his
have got
own.
a bit on that red ball.
It's that forehand, Janice, in this direction. It's
Yeah,
difficult.
You've got to go with a lot more weight, really.
Goes quick. So, another chance here for Paul. Won't want to be making it any bigger. Probably maybe a foot or two just past the jack is ideal. Doesn't want to be sitting at the side of the short ball.
Just behind where he wants it, really. He's certainly sticking to this backhand now, Jason. I think he's given up on the forehand for now.
Could do a sitting centre.
3 red.
Well,
I think there's still a target there for Danny.
there is.
Two balls on the rink behind.
Yep.
Paul needed to really be between the jack and this blue ball that you can see to the bottom of your screen. Sometimes easier said than done. Like I say, we don't play any bad bowls here in the commentary position.
So this is a big bowl, Janice, at this stage.
Yeah,
N5.
Danny.
One
Time out.
behind.
I think
Yep.
that's the first time out called of the game. N5 of the second set.
I think it's the right thing to do. Just steady yourself. Coming at this on the forehand. Better.
In the area. Very
Now,
close. Close to target. Ball onto jack. Jack through.
Now, where's
Ooh,
this
the
red ball
ball's
going?
gone.
he's been a bit unfortunately there, I think. A bit unfortunate. It's gone with it. I think it was always going to go with it, Janice.
Yeah, it was just whether it was going to get locked on one of the other blue balls or not, but it just nicely sort of wobbled through the gap,
One
really.
red.
Yep.
He's been unlucky, but he's not two down now. He's only
One
one.
red, Paul.
Paul's got a bit of room there to draw. I think it's one red. It's
Paul
Looks it
has
from this angle,
3
yes.
outs remaining.
So anywhere within probably a metre of the ditch.
Displaced jacks. Paul Hartley does skip his nationals and for club and county, so used to playing to displaced jacks.
Yeah, Paul took a time out as well.
All on pace.
Line looks good. Needs to run.
Has he reached? Yep. Good enough.
Well played.
Great bowl
That's
there.
a great bowl. Well played.
2 shots. Paul
Thank you,
Hartley.
Ditchcamp. So a pair for Paul. Extends his lead 5 shots to 2 with 4 ends to play. And remember, this is a set he must win.
Yeah, he's certainly played well the last few ends. Again, since he's swapped to the backhand, playing away from the commentary box. Struggled again in this direction. I just wonder if he might swap to the forehand, so he's playing the same side of the rink. You do find that a lot, certainly with outdoor play, don't you, Jason?
Yes.
That people stick to just one side of a rink.
Yeah, different paces normally outside. And where's the jack going? Where's his jack going? Are we okay? Yep.
Jack length 31 and
You
a half
find
metres.
that on outside or end rinks at indoor clubs sometimes. You get a more consistent length on one side of the rink. No, he's not heard me on that one, so he's sticking to this backhand. Found it very well yesterday. Looks a good line. Not a bad opener. It's got a couple of feet. Can't stay with us for any of the games today if you've got to go out and play bowls in the sunshine. You lucky people, you. Don't forget you can pick up all the results on worldbowlstour.tv. But hopefully you can stay with us. Jason, of course, will be leaving me for a little bit of time today because he's got a little matter of going out and playing his own semi-final out there.
That's right, Janice. Get a bite to eat.
Oh, good ball here from Paul Hartley.
Well played, Paul. And blows it away.
Very flamboyant joking of a bowl there from Dan McManus.
So Danny's sticking with it. It's very hard to get shot on that backhand with the way the bowl's just finished short. Now he's swapped now.
Yes, he's swapped. I think he changed his mind. It's on a good line, I think.
Just
It's all on
under.
his weight.
It's
It's
just
start to
going
go now.
Yeah. Good effort.
It's not short, so it gives him options. Right, Paul Hartley, can we repeat delivery? Sonato family in the top corner there now. Connor's had a fantastic year. Such a young man, qualified for the International Open here next March. Won the National Fours. Part of the junior and senior international setup. There you go. Connor, Martin and Caroline.
Oh, Danny. Have you got it full enough?
Oh, has it just...
I think he's just stayed in, personally.
Yeah, it's one of those where it wiggled a bit.
Not quite sure there.
I'm just wondering if the red ball that's to the left of the 3 red, Jason, might just be shot. But again, with our angles here, we really can't tell.
Sticking with his backhand, he's played it well. Be looking just for a touch on the jack for a full house.
He's got various different options down this backhand if he just reaches Danny's bowl.
Something wrong with it, is there?
Yeah, he's not here, is he? Well, he must think he's holding shot to be short, surely. A lot of room there for Danny.
Paul will be a bit annoyed at that one.
Well, there was everything for reaching, turn Danny's bowl out or touch on the jack. You've got to think with him being short, he must favour the left-hand bowl of the 3 to be shot, but Lot of room there for Danny. Giving himself a chance here by opening it up. Big chance. A lot of experience. Danny played a lot of singles tournaments over the years. He'll know that this is his opportunity.
It's coming now. Well played if he's here. Seems to be just pulling up again. So, let's have a look. Could be anything from 1 to...
Oh, 1 declared.
2.
Why is Paul Hartley short there?
I don't know. He's obviously not played it on purpose. It's just looked to be the shot to arrive at the yard, didn't
Yeah,
it?
he'll be very, very disappointed there, I'm sure. His spectators at home and his dad that's in the crowd will be shouting at that. Just see Gary Smith's just come into the arena now, getting into the tail end of watching this game.
Jack length 24 metres.
Gone shorter. Gone
Yes.
back to the length he was playing earlier in the game.
Yeah, just tried to shake it a little bit. So nearly a minimum length.
Three ends to go. Danny Denison won the first set. Don't forget, folks, so a tie would do him here. Great opening bowl. Danny playing with Connor Sinato's bowls here, for those of you that are just tuning in. Drake's Pride Professionals. Hartley playing with Henselite Tigers. Looks on a good track. It's one of those again, Jason. We often say in 9-end sets. Of course, we play 9-end sets today, but 11-end sets for the finals tomorrow. 7th end is often a critical end.
Certainly is.
Sets up who's in control for the last 2 ends of a set.
So just reaching this underneath.
It's forced him into this shot, really, in the area.
Wants to just hold up just a little bit longer. Well played.
Yep, good result.
Very good bowl.
Danny's bowl forced him into that shot. Needed to reach,
One
change
day.
something. Well, Danny, just overrun. I think it might have just
One
sat
green.
in for shot. Paul's got plenty of room to draw here. Wants to
Certainly
draw
has.
close though, doesn't want to put himself under too much pressure with his last bowl.
Wants to start applying the brakes now. If he can just land on the blue bowl, we'll be annoyed at that.
He will. He's had a struggle at the last couple of ends, did all the hard work with his last bowl.
Two green.
Now got to draw. Plenty of room still for Paul Hartley. Don't know whether he likes it, Jason, or not. He seems to be don't walk up after it somehow, asking it to stop.
Needs to just pull up. He should be okay. Well played. That's a big bowl.
One shot.
Don't want to lose a couple there. So extends by 2. 6 shots to 4.
My pretty patterns appearing again,
Certainly
Jason.
are,
every
every other end.
An interesting game for that. Normally you see it going patches as it did at the end of the first set, but at the moment it's going opposite ends.
Jack length 31.5 metres.
Onto the full length again, tee to tee.
Certainly has.
Watching this, very good track here, Paul. All on your pace. Oh, better opener. Now that's more like the Paul Hartley we know.
Certainly is. Good opening shot. People are asking about the bowls on the stream channels. About, obviously, they normally use pool bowls or their own red and green. Obviously, slightly different for this event. You can use your own bowls, and obviously we have the stickers. So Paul is using his own bowls here. Danny, as we covered before, is using a set borrowed from Connor Sinato's.
Yeah, once you get to the ranking tournaments, the big TV tournaments, the Scottish International Open, the World Championships and the International Open, then you've got to play with red bowls if you're top of the draw, green bowls if you're bottom of the draw. But we haven't brought the pool bowls. We have a pool of bowls at the WBT that players can choose from. If you haven't got your own red and green, most of the top players, certainly the top 16, have got their own red and green bowls. But if you are a qualifier and you're not actually in one of the manufacturer's stables who would get you sets made specially for an event, then we do have pool bowls. A lot of the overseas, Jason, don't want to bring the bowls with them.
No.
So they can pick up on the pool bowls.
And also a lot of the overseas players, because the greens are so different over there, Janice, their bowls probably wouldn't be good enough really for the portable rink.
Different models of
Yes.
bowls they play with. Certainly the Australians play with different models of bowls, so plenty of pool bowls to choose from. Every manufacturer has the opportunity of having bowls within that pool of bowls. Didn't like that. Body language said he didn't like that. He's pulling up short. Holds one. There's a chance for Danny here. Rests the red bowl down. Gets the two. Ties it all up going into the last end of this second set. Yeah, playing to reach this. Mr. Hartley, just take a step to your left, please.
Needs an edge.
Oh, just move perfect timing then, Paul. He must have heard us. Just moved in time for us to see that ball miss. There you go, good view of the Drake's Pride bowl of Connor Sinato there that Danny Denison normally plays with Drake's Pride anyway, but he just felt that his bowls weren't perhaps getting the right line on this main TV rink at Blackpool.
So Paul taking a timeout.
Two timeouts remaining.
I mentioned before they've got 5 timeouts in the main 2 sets, and you get an extra timeout when you go into a tie break, so if my calculations are correct, Paul's still got 3 timeouts left and Danny's got 4, so plenty of timeouts both boys have got out there to take the time. Is he here?
No, just pulling up again. Just a couple of feet short. So a chance again for Danny.
Changed his shot a little bit. If he was going for the bowl before, needs to more play for the jack now. Time it a bit better.
I think at this stage, Janice, it'll be only just a reaching draw. He doesn't want to lose his own. You know, if he drops one here, there's still a chance for him. If he removes his own bowl, he's in a whole lot of trouble. So just arriving onto this in the split would be great. Could just catch the outside of his bowl. Don't think this is anything, is it?
Well,
Not hit anything, has it?
he's played the sort of weight that he could have taken his own bowl out clean.
Yeah, I'm surprised he played that pace, but still only one.
That's 7-4, 3 shots up. Danny needs a 3 at this end to tie the set, which would give him the game because he won the first set. Otherwise, we could be seeing first tie break of the day here. Had several tie breaks over the last few days. We've even been down to a 1-bowl shootout in one game. I believe I was talking to Alan Thornhill earlier. He says that there's only ever been one on the portable rink, but That can only happen if at the last end of a tie break the two closest bowls can't be split on a measure. So it has happened here.
Jack length 31.5 metres.
So maximum length jack again, 31.5 metres. Paul will be looking at getting his first bowl as close as he can.
Oh, he's in the area with this one. Just finding his weight just at the right time, I think, Jason. For
Yep.
the tie break.
Certainly is. Again, he's swapped to his backhand again in this direction.
Yeah. You could be right about the pace out there. It's certainly even cooler in this commentary box today.
is.
So I had to put a jumper on. Watching this, just wants to slip behind.
He does. Just needs to start matching Danny's bowls, I think. Obviously, with Danny needing a 3. Doesn't want to allow him to start grouping bowls.
A bit of a think about what to play there.
Yep.
He's still got time out. I do notice that when he's walking up the rink, Jason, he's making the point of going right over to the side of the rink, which is
Cracking bowl.
not affecting his opponent.
No, that's right.
One green.
Good ball there. I just wonder if he's sort of settled for the fact that he's not going to set a 3 up here.
Paul will be happy at losing a 1.
Yeah, just another one close. Might get a shot out of this, you know. He's definitely played this
One green.
backhand away
Better.
from the commentary box far more consistently.
He has.
Last ball's second shot, yes.
So we're looking to rest the nearest red bowl. It's not too far. Oh, it's trying to bend.
Kind of
Well.
makes the 3 impossible now. I think we're looking at our first tie-break of the day.
Yeah. Very, very hard now.
Spectators like tie-breaks. I think it's exciting. If you're firmly in the camp of one of the 2 players out there, though, you'd rather see them winning straight sets.
Your ball's just fallen over, Paul. The ball at the front.
Next game up, due to start at 11:30. I think that might be a slight delay.
Yep. It looks like this is going to a tie break. So I don't even think Billy Jackson could get 3 out of this.
No, Magician Jackson. He certainly played some of those big magician bowls yesterday.
Hit and hope, I think this is what this is called, Janice.
Yes.
He's
Well,
got
he's done the hit bit.
so into the tie break we go, the first semi-final.
Hartley, match tie break.
Different rules now, Jason, when we go into the tie break. We just have to win the ends.
Is it?
First of, well, it's best of 3 ends. First one to win 2 ends.
Danny won the toss and was given the jack.
So I think it's Paul's choice by the looks of it, and
Yeah,
it looks
looked
like he's taking.
it. Yes,
It's unusual that, isn't it?
Yeah, but he did immediately point to himself. Decided to take the jack.
Yep, he is playing his own lengths better. Oh, hang on.
Just a little bit of a
Yeah, just
pause
waiting.
there. Yeah, plenty of time, Paul. There's no shot clock on the jack or the first bowl delivery.
He's playing this length, quite well. I suppose the theory is if you can just play your own length for the first end, Janice, and then
Yeah.
obviously hope that Danny chooses to keep it and get the last bowl for the second end.
And then you've got the option yourself
it.
in the last end.
Yep.
So
Everyone does something
That
slightly
makes 31
different.
and a half metres.
and as we were saying earlier, Jason, it can all depend on how it's actually gone in the game as well, how you felt. Just drop the jack a touch short there. Oh, it's exciting when we get into a tie break.
Not for the players.
No, I must admit, having gone through several tie breaks myself.
Just push through this first. You don't want to be short with your first in a tie break, do you, Janice? That's the problem.
No, and you also don't want to set up a target at just at the side of the jack. A lot of players will tend to run at that. If you can try and sit a bowl just behind or just in front, it's the ideal position. But for those asking, the Simon Skelton Chris Gale game will follow this directly. There'll probably be about a 10-minute break, which hopefully is just enough time for me to get another brew.
Yep.
Does follow it straight away. And then the games this afternoon, the first game will start at 2:30. Jason Parkinson versus Perry Martin. And that'll be followed at 4:30 by Trevor Taylor versus Billy Jackson.
Good
Better
bowl.
bowl there from Paul, and now he's got the back covered as well.
He has.
So
Be looking at just arriving on the forehand.
wide line here. We'll make it all the way back, but has to be perfect weight. Now Paul Hartley will probably stick to his backhand. I would just be trying to reach past shot bowl.
Yeah.
Not wanting to make a target.
No, probably wanting to be finishing just on the top side of the back bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he's looking to do. Good line. Good height. Now, just sweep back and get inside the back blue bowl. Yep,
It's a good bowl.
couldn't have gone up there and put it down better, I don't think. Danny will reach with this, Jason. Got to change something.
Yeah, there's nothing for short here. It's on a good line.
And a very good line for it. Jack solid. Well, that's a very good result. He's holding shot as well. But it sort of becomes a one-bowl shootout now. Closest to that Jack. The thing for Danny now, because he's holding shot at the moment, is if Paul puts his bowl Jack high,
He'll just hit it.
Danny's got the option of going for the bolt. That's how these tie-break ends change. Fortunes change just in one bolt. It's a good line here.
Wants to stop. Wants
Running-
to stop.
Running a bit.
You won't be happy with that.
To run through.
You won't be happy with that at all.
Well, first end Danny Denison. Dan McManus just checking as it sat down. He's saying it's close, but just fancies Danny's bowl. Danny won't want to waste his energy coming up to have a look. Yeah, just a
No.
bit of a smile from him there. Worth bowling the bowl anyway, Danny, but I think Dan McManus indicated that he likes Danny's bowl. Oh, shot ball coming in here anyway.
It's a good bowl. Very good bowl.
That's a great bowl.
Look at that.
Absolutely great bowl. Under no pressure though with that one.
No. Paul will be disappointed in himself there.
Well, he had plenty of room. It's one of
Yeah.
those. You don't want to be short though, Jason. So Paul Hartley got to win the next end. Otherwise, Danny takes it the first place in Tour Card 1 final. Good game of bowls though. Good game for the neutrals, as you would say.
Yep. So Paul has last bowl.
Yes, Danny
Jack
obviously
leg,
opted to
23.5 metres.
take the jack.
So almost a minimum length now.
It's on a very good track. Might just pull up short. Now, Paul, sticking to your backhand? No, soften back to the forehand. It's on a very good line. What's the pace like?
Yeah, good reply.
If it sits down, yeah, great ball there. Gives Danny a target to rest on.
6 inches.
This is all on his pace. Great line. Perfect line here.
Just going to sit off it. Yeah.
Oh, he's been
One
unlucky, but it does set it up again. A bigger target to rest off. Paul needs to close that down. Needs to get a ball in there before Danny does. Oh, again, good line. What's weight like here, Paul? Watch it swoop now.
Just on the top side of it with the pace. Yeah. So, chance for Danny. Slight correction needed.
And he's not sure on that one.
No, he's pushed out this one. So now, come on, Paul.
Another
Chance here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
just
needs
close
a
it down, I
little
think, Janice, I think.
a little bit of weight, that's all
Yeah.
he needs. Now, it's, shot clock operator just noticing that Danny hadn't got behind the mat, so being fair to Paul had stopped the clock,
Just bend a bit more.
urging it to bend, urging it to bend.
1 right.
It's still
Well,
there for Danny.
It certainly is. Nothing for short. Going to reach into the pack.
Going to have a look at this. Still got timeouts that he could take. He had 3 left from the main part of the game and he gets 1 extra in the tie break, so plenty of timeouts, Danny. He'll definitely take a timeout here.
Timeout called. Danny has 3 timeouts remaining.
Just really on his choice of weight here.
Yeah,
Denison.
I think so.
He might be thinking I'm better just arriving to this and try and pop the red ball out.
Yeah, he was too quick.
Gone for it in the
It's
area.
close.
Very close.
How much has he got? Has he
Very,
got
very
4,
close.
3? That's
Oh.
what I thought. Just with the extra pace.
Yeah. It was one of those, if he'd have just tried to draw again and sat off the pack again. So, last end of the tie break. Rules change again just slightly here. The players can nominate to kill the end. That means if the jack goes out the side confines of the rink.
So, what's the tactics? He's actually going to...
Played.
Is he going to give it away or is he going to keep it?
Looks like he's going to keep it. Hmm. That was my noise for not sure what I would have done in that position, Jason.
Yeah.
It's
Obviously, we're just assuming who won the toss. It looked like it with the body language.
not often you find a tie break where both players opt to take the jack.
So he's playing a bit shorter here. So far in the tie break, they've won each other's end, haven't they? So who's sent the jack hasn't won the end.
Yet again, we're going back to that. He's
Jack leg, 31 metres.
still at 31.
Yeah.
31 and a half's the longest here.
He's been playing this backhand quite well in this direction.
Just wants to settle himself now. Take your time.
Yep, nose ender with your first will be great. Obviously, you can elect to kill the end in this one end only.
Well, the track looks very good if he's perfect weight. Needs to run that little touch further. That's one of those, it's a good ball, but it's left Danny room.
So not a bad start. Asking him just to stand back again.
Yeah. Shot clock operator will hopefully have... Well, the shot clock's still counting down, but clock operator does have the option if the opposing player is disturbing the player on the mat, he does have the option to stop the shot clock.
One behind, please.
Well played, Paul.
Yeah, certainly a better bowl. Still room for Danny here.
We just found out that they've both been giving the jack away. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've had to take the microphone feed that we get off the marker off for this game.
So, chance for Paul now. I think he's got to put another one nearer than that, Janice.
Yeah, just a little tuck on the jack would be nice as well. Hide it behind his own bowls. There's still the draw there, and Danny's got 2 bowls left. This is a good height again.
Just wants to get hold of the jack. Unlucky.
Oh, great effort. Good position
It
there.
is. Yeah, it's finished
Which
good.
one's the shot bow, please?
Take your time, Paul. Now, important bowl here. Looks on a very good track here, Jason. Again, it's all on
Certainly
his
does.
pace.
Is he here? Going to fall off the bowl. Oh, just, I
Done
think.
it.
On the skin of his teeth, I think that might have just fallen down.
That's, that'll have put all sorts of questions in Paul Hartley's mind now if it's holding shot. We've just had through, it's definitely got shot.
I think he's got to draw this, Janice.
Apparently he's nominated to kill the end, if I've just heard right off Dan McManus.
Oh, really? Okay. I was going to say, 'cause it doesn't look like he can get rid of the shot ball without movement on the jack.
No, he's also taken a time out as well, taking his time.
And obviously we've got to remember, Danny's has got the last bowl. So a big bowl for Paul Hartley here.
Well, he's in the area.
It's close. Is he going to bend at the end?
Just hanging off. Danny Denison takes the first place in the semi-finals. Thanks for your company this morning. Very best of luck this afternoon, Jason.
Thank you very much, Janice.
Join us after this short break for Simon Skelton versus Chris Gale.